A deluge of distress. Lilly's harassing calls target lawmakers. Ade Salim Lilly, a resident of Washington, D.C., has been sentenced to 13 months in prison. His crime? A relentless campaign of harassment targeting elected officials. Lilly bombarded lawmakers with over 12,000 phone calls, turning their offices into pressure cookers of anxiety and fear. The calls were not mere annoyances, they were laced with threats and intimidation, creating a toxic atmosphere for those in public service. Lilly's reign of harassment, spanning from February 2022 to November 2023, left lawmakers and their staff on edge. The sheer volume of calls disrupted daily operations and instilled a sense of unease. The content of the calls, often laced with vitriol and aggression, added another layer of distress. Lilly's actions were a stark reminder of the vulnerability of public officials and the potential for harassment to disrupt the democratic process. Piling on the pressure, the relentless nature of Lilly's harassment campaign. Lilly's campaign of harassment was nothing short of relentless. He barraged lawmakers' offices with a deluge of calls, often making hundreds in a single day. The calls were not confined to normal business hours. They came at all times, disrupting schedules and invading personal space. This relentless assault created an atmosphere of fear and intimidation, forcing lawmakers and their staff to be constantly on guard. Imagine being bombarded with hundreds of calls every day, each one laced with anger and threats. This was the reality for the lawmakers targeted by Lilly. The calls weren't just annoying, they were deeply unsettling, creating a climate of fear and anxiety. The relentless nature of Lilly's harassment campaign was a stark reminder of the potential for technology to be used for malicious purposes. Justice served, Lilly's guilty plea, and the charges against him. In a courtroom in Washington, D.C., Ade Salim Lilly faced the consequences of his actions. He pleaded guilty to charges stemming from his relentless harassment campaign against elected officials. The charges painted a picture of a man driven by an obsessive desire to intimidate and silence those in power. Lilly's guilty plea was a small victory for those who believe in civility and respect in political discourse. The charges against Lilly were not taken lightly. They included making threats via interstate communications and using a telephone to harass and threaten. These charges reflected the seriousness of his actions and the potential for his behavior to escalate into violence. The justice system recognized the need to hold Lilly accountable for his actions and send a clear message that such behavior would not be tolerated. Section 4. A chilling crescendo, the escalation of Lilly's threats. Lilly's harassment campaign wasn't just about the sheer volume of calls, it was the escalating nature of his threats that truly alarmed authorities. What began as a nuisance quickly morphed into something far more sinister. In February 2023, Lilly's threats reached a fever pitch when he left a voicemail for a lawmaker, stating, "I'm coming for you." These words sent chills down the spines of those who heard them, raising the specter of violence and prompting heightened security measures. The voicemail was a turning point in the case. It transformed Lilly from an annoying pest into a credible threat. Lawmakers and their staff were now living with the very real fear that Lilly might act on his words. The incident underscored the fine line between free speech and incitement to violence, a line that Lilly had crossed with chilling ease. Section 5. A disturbing trend, the rise of threats against public officials. Lilly's case is unfortunately not an isolated incident. It's part of a larger and deeply troubling trend of escalating threats against public officials. Capitol Police Chief J. Thomas Manger has spoken out about this alarming rise in threats, highlighting the increasing dangers faced by those who serve in government. The Capitol Police have reported a significant surge in threats against members of Congress in recent years, a trend that should concern every American. This surge in threats is a direct assault on our democracy. When elected officials fear for their safety and that of their families, it undermines their ability to serve the public effectively. This climate of fear has a chilling effect on political discourse, making it harder to have open and honest debates about the issues that matter most. Section 6. Lilly's sentence, a message of deterrence. The judge sentenced Lilly to 13 months in prison, followed by 3 years of supervised release. This sentence reflects the severity of his crimes and the need to deter others from engaging in similar behavior. The judge, in handing down the sentence, noted the recent uptick in violent attacks on politicians and their families, emphasizing the very real danger posed by such threats. During Lilly's supervised release, he will be subject to strict conditions aimed at preventing further harassment. These conditions include restrictions on his use of electronic devices and his ability to contact elected officials. The judge's decision reflects a balance between punishment and rehabilitation, recognizing the need to hold Lilly accountable while also providing him with an opportunity to turn his life around.